Nisarga. Okay. Fourth row, I think you have given Nisarga. No, Sarang. Fourth row is not there. Okay. Yeah. Fourth row is 0100. Perfect. Okay. Very good. Bhushan. Okay. Quickly type everyone so that I'll be writing here. So that I'll be knowing that you are getting what I'm trying to say. Hmm. Bhushan, correct. Okay. Next. Only two, three students. Okay, Rugved. Hmm. Okay. So I hope everyone is getting this. Okay. So A1 is there. So we'll put as 1. A2 is not there, 0. A3 is there, 1. A4 is not there, 0. B1 is there, no. We'll put 0. B2, no. B3, no. B4 is there, 1. C1 is there, yes. C2, no. C3, no. C4, no. D1 is there, no. D2 is there, D3, D4 is not there. So this is what the relation matrix. And how do I draw the diagram? So suppose if I want to draw the diagram, what I'll do is I'll make A, B, C, and D over here. Okay. You can have any what you say the arrangement. I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4. Both the nodes, okay, both the elements in a node I'll put, okay, and then I'll try to draw the diagram. Now A is connected to 1, so I will have this A to 1. Okay, A is connected to 3, so I'll have A to 3, right? Okay, A to 1, A to 3 is done. B is connected to 4, so I'll connect B to 4 here, right? Then C is connected to 1, I'll connect C to 1 here, okay? Then D is connected to 2, so I'll try to connect D to 2 like this, okay? So this is what the diagraph we have got, and this is what the relation matrix MR represented by MR we have got like this. Okay, so I hope how to have a relation matrix and how to draw the diagram you have got it. Okay, for 2 marks you can have the simple questions in your exam, student. Okay, let us move to types of relation, that is a inverse relation. Okay, I'll change the page, student. So inverse relation is, it is like, let inverse relation. First type we are going to check. Let R be the relation from set A to B. Suppose set A to B, we are having relation R. Then how inverse relation I'll denote? The inverse relation will be denoted by R inverse, and that relation would be from B to A, student. Okay. So if A to B I'm having relation R, then inverse of R would be the relation from B to A. And how do I represent it? R inverse would be equal to B comma A if A comma B belongs to R. Okay. So if AB belongs to R, then inverse would be B comma A, because A to B is a relation R and its inverse, that is B comma A, we are representing. Okay. Let let a simple just get a simple example, you will come to know. Suppose A is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 and B is equal to A comma B. Okay. And suppose R is given as, suppose, 1 comma A, 2 comma A, okay, then 2 comma B, and so on. It is from A to B. So how do I represent inverse relation here? Inverse R inverse would be simply 1 to A is from A to B now. Then we have to put it from B to A. So it would be A comma 1. Okay. Then next A comma 2. A comma 2. And then B comma 2. Okay. Likewise, we will have an inverse relation. Okay. So what could be the domain and range relation between the R and R inverse, student? Anyone? Domain and R relation between R and R inverse. Will it be same, student? Range and domain for R and R inverse would be same. Yes or no? Am I audible? Quickly say.
No, ma'am.
No. So what would
No,
be the
ma'am.
relation? Yeah,
And the domain will become range and range will become domain.
perfect. Okay, so everyone supposed to remember this point. If R be the relation from A to B, then the domain of R is a range of R inverse. Okay, so domain of R would be the range of R inverse and vice versa. And range of R would be the domain of R inverse. That you need to remember, student. Okay, this would be the relation because A to B and B to E, it would be reverse. Okay, then second we will have as a identity relation. You must be knowing this relation, identity. What do you mean by identity relation, student? A relation R in a set A is said to be identity relation if every element is related to itself. Okay, every element in a set is related to itself. Okay, and it is generally denoted by ia, which is equal to x comma x, where x belongs to A. Okay, so every element in a set is related to itself. Okay, take a simple example. Suppose I'm having A as 1 2 3 for this example. A is equal to 1 2 3. Then how I'll be writing IA? IA would be each and every element is very important. Every element. Okay. So this word is very important. So IA, how do I represent? It would be 1 comma A because 1 is related to 1. Each and every element will be related to itself. 2 comma 2 and then 3 comma 3 would be the identity relation for the given set A 1 2 3. Okay, I hope you have understood this simple term. Let us move to the third relation, that is universal relation, student. Okay, universal relation. So what is universal relation? The relation R in set A is said to be universal relation if R is equal to A cross A. Okay, cross product. Okay, how do I do it? Let's suppose A is equal to A comma B comma C. Okay, what would be the universal relation I will have here? R is equal to A cross A. Okay, so simply have a cross product of this. So A to A. Okay, then comma A to B, comma A to C. Right? Then again, now A to A, B, C is done. Right? Now B to A, B to B, B to C. So B comma A. Right? B comma B. Then B comma C. B is done. Now C. C to A, C to B, and C to C. C to A, then C to B, right? And then C to C finally. Okay, so this is C comma C. Okay, so this is your universal relation, student. So universal means what? All the combinations for the each and every element in a in a set is present. Okay, all the combinations you will have. That is cross product. Okay, that is what the universal relation. And the fourth one is void relation. What it could be, student? Anyone? Just think about it. Can anyone say me what could be a void relation? Universal, we are getting everything in a set in a set R, right? So in a relation set we are getting everything. But what could be the void relation? Any student? Okay, I'll tell you.
A
Or
cross null set.
yes, yes,
A cross null set.
yes. So basically, not
Set A is
cross.
null set.
Yes,
Set A
basically
is
the
also null
relation
set.
you will be getting a student, that would be a null set. Okay, in R you will get 5. Okay, so a relation R in a set A is said to be void relation if R is a null set. R is equal to 5. Okay, when I'll get this? Okay, suppose take an example. Suppose I'm giving A is equal to 2, 5, and 7. and I'm defining R in a such a way that A, R, B, if and only if A divides. Okay. So what I'm asking you, to get the relation where A is related to B, okay, what is the condition when A is related to B? If and only if A divides B for 257. Whether I'm getting any relation over here, student, if I take 25, whether A divides B, no. If I take 27, whether A divides B, no. If I take 52, no. 57, no. 72, no. 75, no. Okay. So I'm not getting any order pair which will define the given relation, that is A divides B. So here, what relation I'm getting here is 5. So this is what the void relation example. Okay. So I hope you have got the example for void relation. Okay. So these are whatever the types we have seen right now. These are the types of relation. What is the first relation we have got is inverse relation. Okay. Inverse A to B, B to A. Second is identity relation. That is itself. Okay. The relation to itself. That is 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and so on. And we have seen universal relation, all for all. Okay, everything is included in a relation. That is what the universal relation by cross product we could have. And void, nothing is there in a relation. We cannot relate the elements which are given in a state. Okay, that is what the void relation. I hope you have understood all those 4 types. Can we move further? Can we go to the next one, student? Yes.
Yes,
Say
ma'am.
something. Okay, now next, very important, that is properties of binary relation. Properties of binary relations. Okay, so very first property we have reflexive relation. So I hope everyone is writing down what I'm trying to say. So basically, types we have seen, representation we have seen. Now we are moving to very important topic, that is properties of binary relation. So whatever the relations we are getting, student, from this set, okay, they are showing some properties. They are showing some attributes. Okay. So what are the attributes or what are the properties these relations are showing, that we are going to see. The first property, the first attribute for the relation we are having, that is a reflexive relation. So, what is the definition of reflexive relation? Reflexive. Okay, it's self-explanatory. A binary relation R on a set A is called reflexive relation if A comma A belongs to R. Okay. In other words, R is reflexive if every element in A is related to itself. Okay. R is reflexive if every element, okay, in A is related to itself. Okay. So it is like a identity relation, student. Okay. So suppose if I'm having A is equal to A comma B comma C. Okay. And then if I'm saying that, suppose I'm having relation R1. Okay. As A comma A comma B comma B, and C comma C. So whether this relation would be a reflexive relation, student? What is our definition for the reflexive relation? The definition for the reflexive relation is each and every element in a set. A is element, B is element, and C is element. Each and every element in a set A, if it is related to itself, then we will say the relation is a reflexive relation. Now here, if you observe, A is related to A, yes. B is related to B, yes. C is related to C, yes. So I can say that this relation is reflexive relation. Okay. Let us take another example. So this is what the reflexive relation is. Let us take another example. Suppose I'm having set A is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. Okay, and I'm putting relation R2 as 1, comma 1, 2, comma 4, 3, comma 3, 4, comma 1, and 4, comma 4. Okay. Now tell me whether this relation would be a reflexive relation, yes or no. Quickly type on a chat box. Come on, everyone, student. I want your attendance, attention. Okay. Yes or no, whether the given relation R2 1, comma 1, 2, comma 4, 3, comma 3, 4, comma 1, and 4, comma 4 would be a reflexive relation. No, perfect. Why no? Because each and every element should be related to itself. So 1, comma 1 is there. Yes, 1 is there. Okay. 3, comma 3 is there. Yes, 3, comma 3 is there. 4, comma 4, 4, comma 4 is there. And what about 2? 2, 2, comma 2 does not belongs to R2. So this is not reflexive relation. Okay. So this is how you have to justify, student. Okay. So I hope you have got what is reflexive property is. Okay. Now next we will move to symmetric relation. Here you should not have any confusion, student. Okay. So I'm repeating it again and again. Symmetric relation. Symmetric relation. Okay. Now this definition is very important, student. Symmetric relation, a binary relation R on a set E is called symmetric if A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A belongs to R. Okay. If A comma B is there in a relation, then there has to be B comma A, okay, in R. Then and then at that point only we will call the relation as symmetric relation. अगर A comma B relation में है तो B comma A relation में आना ही चाहिए, student. Okay. If A comma B is there, then B comma A has to be there. Okay. If B comma A would be there, then that time you will call it as a symmetric relation. I hope you have understood this definition. Okay. So if X is related to Y, then Y has to be related to X. That time we will say that the given relation is symmetric relation. If suppose 1 and 1 comma 2 I'm having in a relation R, then 2 comma 1 I have to have in the relation. Okay. That time the relation would be symmetric relation. I'll take the example. Okay. A is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Okay. Suppose I'm having these number of elements in a set A. And suppose I'm having R1 as 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 4, and 4 comma 3. Okay. So whether this relation is symmetric relation or not, we will check. 1 comma 2, whether 2 comma 1 is there? Yes. Okay. 3 comma 4, whether 4 comma 3 is there? Yes. So this relation, I will see that is a symmetric relation because for each and every A comma B order pair, I'm getting B comma A. Okay. So it is satisfying the definition of symmetric relation. So the R1 is, we can call it as a symmetric, showing the symmetric relation. Okay. For R2, 1 comma 3, 3 comma 1, 3 comma 4, 4 comma 4. Suppose this is what the relation is. Okay. So whether this R2 is showing symmetric relation, student, quickly type yes or no. R2 is showing not symmetric. Yes, perfect. Why? Because 1 3 3 1 we are having. Okay. 4 4 also we are having, right? 4 4 is also symmetricity, right? The same thing. But 3 4 3 4 4 3 is not there. No. So your 3 4 is there, but 4 3 does not belongs to R2. So it is not symmetric. Okay. So this is how you have to write. I hope you have got the definition of symmetric. Now we will move to asymmetric relation. Asymmetric relation. Asymmetric relation. Now, what could be the asymmetric relation? If the definition of symmetric relation is A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A has to be there in R. So asymmetric relation means what? A relation R on a set A is said to be asymmetric relation if A comma B belongs to R, okay, but B comma A does not belongs to R. Suppose A comma B is there in a relation, then B comma A should not be there in a relation, student. अगर A comma B relation में है तो B comma A relation में नहीं आना चाहिए. Okay, that is what the definition of asymmetric relation. We'll take a simple example and you will come to know what it is. Suppose I'm having A is equal to 1, 2, 4. Okay. Now tell me, student R1, whether 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3 and 4 comma 3 would be a symmetric relation. Quickly type on a chat box 1 2 2 3 and 4 3. Whether it is a symmetric relation? Yes, very good. Okay, only one. What about others? Yes. Okay, because 1 2 2 1 is not there. For 1 2, for 1 2 2 1 is not there. For 2 3 3 2 is not there, and 4 3 3 4 is not there. Okay. Now suppose I'll take R2 as 1 2 2 3 and 2 1. Whether it would be a symmetric relation? No, because 1 2 is there and 2 1 is also there. Okay. So it is not satisfying the definition of asymmetric relation. So R1 would be a symmetric relation and R2 would not be a symmetric relation. Okay, because 1 2 and 2 1 is there in a relation. Okay. Now next, very important is anti-symmetric relation, student. I hope everyone is writing down the definition because after this you are going to solve the various problem based on the properties of relation. Okay. So anti-symmetric relation. Now, what do you mean by anti-symmetric relation? Carefully listen, student. A binary relation R on a set is on a set A is anti-symmetric if A comma B belongs to R and B comma A belongs to R, then A comma B. Okay. Now, no confusion here, student. Huh? Asymmetric, what asymmetric is saying? If A comma B is there, then B comma A should not be there. The same thing is applied over here, student. A comma B is there, B comma A should not be there. But anti-symmetric relation give you one chance to get A comma B and B comma A in a set A. But what is that chance and what is a restriction on that chance is, suppose if you are having A comma B in a relation, then you can have B comma A in a relation, but the constraint is A has to be equal to B. Are you getting this, student? Are you getting this definition? Okay, A comma B, if it is there, then A comma B is there, then B comma A should not be there. Okay, yeah, a B comma A should not be there. But if you are having A comma B in a relation as well as B comma A in a relation, it is okay. But if when it would be okay in an anti-symmetric relation, when A would be equal to B. Okay. So in this case, example. Okay. So in this with respect to this definition, I'll give you example. Let's suppose A is equal to A is 1, 2, 3, 4, and suppose I'm giving R as 1, comma 2, okay, 3, comma 3, and 4, comma 3. Okay. Now see this. What is our definition is? Our definition is A comma B, if it is there, then B comma A should not be there. ओके अगर a कॉमा b है तो b कॉमा a नहीं होना चाहिए, बट अगर a कॉमा b भी है और b कॉमा a भी है तो a एंड b इक्वल होना चाहिए. a b एंड b a हो सकता है, but what case a b and b a would be there in your relation when a is equal to b. Now suppose I am giving r is equal to 1 2 3 3 4 3, right? So whether it is anti-symmetric relation, student? Yes. Now just think about it and tell me whether it is anti-symmetric relation. I want to see your answer, student, quickly. Whatever it is, okay? Doesn't matter wrong, right? Yes. Okay. I'm getting answer as yes, yes. Chinmay, yes. Okay. Next. Quickly, student. I want to see your answer. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Perfect. That means you have got the definition. See, 1 2 2 1 है क्या यहाँ पे? No. We are having 1 2 2 1. We are not having. It is okay. Absolutely okay. 4 3 3 4 है क्या यहाँ पे? No. So 4 3 3 4 is not there. So absolutely okay. What about 3 3, student? So what is the definition? A comma B and B comma A. Okay. A comma A 3 3. B comma A B क्या होगा? 3 3. So A is equal to B. So this A and B are equal. So this definition it is satisfying, and that's why it is anti-symmetric relation. So basically what you have to remember, student, for all diagonal element, okay, the anti-symmetric relation is satisfying. So if you have 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 in your relation, then it is satisfying the anti-symmetric property. Okay. So this thing you have to remember, student. I hope you have got this point. Okay. Now suppose, okay, suppose I'm having again second relation R2. Suppose I'm having 1 2 1 3 and 1 1. Okay. Whether it would be an anti-symmetric relation, student? Whether it would be an anti-symmetric relation, yes or no? The same thing I have given. Yes. 1 2 1 3 and 1 1. Whether it is anti-symmetric? Yes. Okay. Okay. So just observe this example, student. What is a finding you have? You carefully listen. Okay. Every asymmetric relation would be anti-symmetric relation, student, because asymmetric would be superset and anti-symmetric would be subset, because anti-symmetric में है, asymmetric में है, वो anti-symmetric में भी है, right? So asymmetric, what asymmetric is telling, A comma B is there, then B comma A should not be there. Anti-symmetry also saying the same thing, but anti-symmetry give you one chance to have A comma B and B comma A in a set when A would be equal to B. Okay, so every asymmetric relation would be anti-symmetric relation, student, that you have to remember. But every anti-symmetric relation may or may not be a symmetric relation, that you have to remember. I hope you have got this point. Every asymmetric relation would be a anti-symmetric relation. Okay, but every anti-symmetric relation may or may not be a asymmetric relation, because anti-symmetric relation we are having somewhat more relaxation than asymmetric relation. Asymmetric relation, we have more restrictions. I hope you have got this point, student. Say yes or no. Quickly say yes or no. Shall we move to the next property, students? Quickly type. Only 2 3 student reply I'm getting. I want to have, yes, every student reply I want to see. Otherwise, I'll repeat it again if you're not getting. Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. Now, next, we'll see transitive relation. Now, transitive is quite easy, and I hope you are knowing this relation already. Transitive relation. Okay. So transitive relation, a binary relation R on set is said to be transitive if A comma B belongs to R, B comma C belongs to R, then A comma C belongs to R. Okay. A to B अगर R में है and B to C R में है तो A and C has to be there. A comma C has to be there. If AB would be there in R and BC would be there in R, then E comma C has to be there in R. If A comma C would not be there in R, then that relation we will not call it as a transitive relation, student. Okay, I give you example, you will come to know. Okay. Suppose A is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3. Okay. I know it's 115. Okay. This is the last example I'm taking, student, and we'll stop here. Okay. A is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3. Okay. Suppose R1 is equal to, I'm saying, 1, comma 2. Okay. 2, comma 3. And then I'm putting 1, comma 3. Okay. Whether it is a transitive relation? Yes, it is a transitive relation. Why? Because A 1, comma 2 AB is there, then 2, comma 3 BC is there, and AC, that is 1 3. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 1 3. 1 3 I'm having in a relation. So it is a transitive relation. Okay. And suppose I'm giving the second example like this. Just check it out whether it is transitive or not. Okay. 1, comma 2, 2, comma 1. 1, comma 1. Whether it is transitive relation, student? Yes. Okay. Whether it is a transitive relation? Just think about it and tell me. Om is saying no. Okay. 31 no. What about others? It's not a transitive. Mugdha is saying yes. Okay. Rahul, yes. Quickly, everyone should take part in it. Huh? Okay. Pranjal, no. Gaurav, yes. You have to see it carefully. Yeah? Don't be in hurry, student. Bhushan, yes, yes, yes. Paras, Akanksha, Apeksha, yes. Sakshi, no. Okay. Just think about it carefully, student. Okay. Now, what you have to do? You have to check the second one. Cross traversing also you have to do, student. 1 to 2, 2 to 1. Yes, 1 to 1 I'm having, right? 2 to 1, 1 to 2. So 2 to 1 I'm having. But you have to see 1 to 1 and 1 to 1 to 1 and 1 to 2. So this one and this one also you have to travel back. So 1 to 1 and 1 to 2, 1 to 2 I'm having, student, right? But what about 2 to 1 and 1 to 2? 2 1 and 1 2. These pairs you are having now. 2 1 and 1 2. So you have to have 2 2 in your relation, student. So forward as well as backward you have to travel. Okay. In a both way you have to travel and you have to check whether you are getting those order pair or not. So in this case, most of the students are saying yes. Why? Because they are traveling in a forward direction only, and they are checking in a forward direction. It's not like that. You have to go to the back also. Okay. So here 1 1 and 1 2 also you need to check. So 1 1 and 1 2. 1 2 already we are having. But what about 2 1 and 1 2? So 2 1 and 1 2, 2 2 we are not having. So 2 2 does not belongs to R2. So it is not a transitive relation, student. Second one is not a transitive relation. So I hope, student, you have got this point. Okay, whenever you are checking out the transitive property, you have to check for all possible forward and backward direction combination. Okay, you have to ensure in both the direction, and then only you need to say whether it is transitive or not transitive relation. I hope you have understood what we have seen today, student. Okay, in tomorrow's lecture, we'll continue with the equivalence relation and the problems. Okay, so hence onwards, we will be solving various problems based on these important properties and the concepts. Okay, I hope you have understood what we have covered today. Okay, that's it from my side, student. Okay, I'll just check it out the attendance. How many students are there today? Okay, I'll just download it. Okay, student. Okay. Okay, thank you. You can leave, student. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Okay. Any problem? Yes, I'm getting the hand here. Prathamesh. Prathamesh, you want to say something?
No, ma'am.
Okay.